Welcome to Rooted and Real, where genuine conversation meets grounded perspective.
Yes. Thank you for joining us on our next episode.
Episode 7, y'all.
Episode 7, we in this thing
In
now.
there.
In there.
Professionals. Playing. I'm playing. But go and tell them what episode 7's about.
Okay, so episode 7 came about because we were discussing our identity outside of marriage and family. You know, we might have thought we knew who we were before we got married, but at some point, being in the game for a little while now, having a couple kids under the belt,
You tend to lose yourself a little bit.
you tend to lose yourself. And so we were discussing that. We've discussed it in varying degrees and before, but, you know, more recently we were like, you know, who am I outside of my husband, outside of my kids, outside of being somebody's mama?
Now we this podcast, but you
Now-
know.
Yeah, now we're doing this podcast,
But in general.
and that's also part of the reason why we started this podcast is because there were so many topics and conversations that we were having
Yeah.
that we were like, we can't be the only ones that have this thought.
Right. That have this issue or
Right.
would like to know more about something like this.
Right, that are trying to look within themselves,
Yes. Doing all this deep work.
doing all of the deep work. And that really comes about from therapy. It really does. Therapy, counseling,
Good
growing,
Lord.
maturing.
Yes.
And so
You'll find that we talk about that a lot on this podcast.
Yes, we
growing,
absolutely do.
maturing.
We
That's what
are-
we want for y'all. We want y'all to be grown and mature too.
That's right. We are proponents for therapy. We are proponents for growth.
Growth.
Growth. What is on Insecure?
Growth. Yep. All right, but I found this article while we were looking into this, and it basically sums up exactly what we're talking about.
Yes.
So, it's from a user, and it says, "How do I find who I am?" It says, "I'm 33, but I feel like I have no idea who I am. I feel like I've always been led by others, caved to other people's opinions and suggestions, and never really learned to form and stick to my own beliefs. I feel like I don't even know what they are. I've looked online, and a lot of exercises have questions to find yourself, like what could you talk endlessly for hours about? What do you most believe in? What values do you hold most close? I draw blanks at all of them. I'm starting my journey to be my authentic self, not conform to other people's expectations and adopt other people's belief systems. I want to think for myself and act what's best for me. Can anyone provide any resources, thoughts, advice for my situation? I literally feel lost, like I'm going through the motions of life and have no idea who I am. So, of course, I can't act authentically if I don't even know what my authentic self is."
That is correct. That is absolutely
And he did get a lot of stuff in the comments, you know, about meditation and things like that. But there was one person in there that said, "I help people solve this problem professionally."
Yes.
And so one thing that we are going to link in the show notes below, it'll be about the VIA character strengths test.
Yes.
So apparently that's
Yes.
a common theme that therapists use for people to help them figure out what their strengths are. If you don't
Right.
already know what they are, this will help you figure it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we got that. But one thing that this person said also was that take about a half an hour to an hour and write out a life vision. It's essentially a wildly detailed picture of what a day in your dream life looks like. And I mean maximum detail. And the whole thing should be exciting to you. Every single bit of it that you
Every
write
single
down.
bit of it.
How do you wake up? What do you do in the morning, afternoon? What do you eat for breakfast, lunch? What do you do to make money? Who do you spend time with and how much time? And on and on and on until you write down that you closed your eyes to go to bed. Really think outside the box and even write down the things that you're scared to even write down. Can you imagine that? Like stuff that you think that you want to
Yeah.
have, but you're scared to write them down for fear that they won't even come true. Like
Right, because it's
they're
like-
so impossible that
Yes.
I can't get that.
It doesn't seem possible. It's not a possibility in your mind.
Yes. So that is the basis of this podcast episode.
Yes.
Who are you? Who are you? Who? Anyway, okay.
So we found a really good article from BetterHelp.com, which BetterHelp is an online, I think it's an online therapy tool that
Yeah.
helps you find therapists in your area who
Yep.
can help you become your better self.
Yep. Find an online therapist to help you through everything.
Right, and it touched on this topic of who am I?
Yes.
Who am I? And so it offers some tips. Tips for self-discovery. If you're in the process of discovering or rediscovering your real self, it can be difficult to know where to start. It can be helpful to recall that self-discovery work can't be finished in a day, and in fact, it generally spans a lifetime.
Lifetime.
So even finding out who you are, therapy is an ongoing, process. But and each time when something comes up and finding out who you are is not like, oh, I know who I am now, because again, we discussed it in our first few episodes. Who I am in my 20s is not who I am in my 30s, in my 40s.
50s.
Right. And so the things in your
Changes
life
occur.
change. So who you are should also change, hopefully for the better.
Right.
Let's say it said, be patient and gentle with yourself along the way. The next you can do is get familiar with the following 5 strategies. Number 1, make sense of your life story.
Yep. Think to your whenever you're thinking to yourself, I don't know who I am. Go back to your childhood thoughts.
Yes.
So like, what activities gave you joy or captivated you then? What
That's
was your
right.
favorite games, books, movies, things like that? And how could they be used today? Like, how could you take that today? If you'd like
That's
to draw
right.
back then, but you just kind of quit, you could
Right.
draw now or you could paint now. You know, things like that.
Even like video games. When I was growing up, video games were just strictly out, just fun. They were activity,
Yeah.
entertainment. But now, you got
make
streamers
money off
making
that.
money, making bank.
Now, if you wanted to do that, you could,
Yeah, if
but
you
you could
wanted to
also
do
do it
that.
just as a hobby. But
Yes,
like
yes.
it could be lucrative for you
Yes,
as well.
absolutely.
What places, moments, or people were most important to you then, and do any of them continue to impact your life today? Were there
Oh,
places
yeah.
that you like to go with your family, where y'all
That's right.
y'all went camping or hiking, or you went to the amusement park, or you just did vacations that you felt like brought you joy?
That's
so like
right.
going on a family vacation every year,
Right.
to someplace new, or anything
right.
like that could be a hobby.
Skateboarding.
Roller skating.
Yes.
I read that on one of the things about one of the hobbies that you could pick up, and most of them, were the same, about cooking or
Right.
photography and things
Right.
like that. But one of them was like roller skating, and I said, you know what? I used to like to roller skate.
Well,
I
now
can't even
listen-
do it as well as I used to, but I used to like to do it on the street at home.
Well, you see now, knees and joints don't work the same way. So some
I know
things.
I'm scared to fall because
Now-
I feel like now I'm gonna break something.
Well,
when I
also
fall.
you have a conscience that if you fall, you could break something.
I
like
know when you
before,
little, you just
if I break it, it's broke.
yeah, and it'll heal. It'll be fine. Now I'm like, is it gonna heal? Is it gonna be fine? I'm not all the way sure.
The second tip is to focus on your strengths. Identifying what you're good at can be another way to know yourself. You might think again about your childhood and the early aptitudes you show. Again, as we even spoke about attachments, going back to the foundation.
Going back to the foundation, yeah.
Going back to the foundation. These could be specific activities or skills like playing soccer, doing math, broader
Speak
person.
up.
Oh,
She be talking out low like she talks loud. You have to speak up to make sure it's in the mic good.
I do feel like I talk loud
You
though.
ain't talking loud enough.
You can hear me in the mic. I mean, you can hear that I'm just.
Speak up.
Oh, okay. Okay, so things like playing soccer, doing math, or broader personality traits or abilities like showing empathy towards others or being naturally personable or imaginative.
We talked about that because
Yes.
people tend to think, oh, what are my strengths?
Yeah.
And it's about what you can physically do.
Right.
So like, am I good at math? Am I good at science? Am I good at, playing an instrument? It doesn't matter if you're physically good at something. Are you good
Right.
at actively listening to people?
Yes.
Are you good at having empathy for
Absolutely.
people? You know what I mean? Like there's different things about your character. Or do you have charisma? Are you
Right.
great at getting people to do things?
Right?
Are
Are
you
you
great
a
at getting people
bully?
to buy things?
Yeah.
Wait, don't be a bully. But
Don't be a bully. But be
charisma is what we call it now as
Yeah,
adults.
yeah. Be charismatic.
Be charismatic.
Be
but, like, there's
charismatic in
different
your
things.
pursuits.
Yeah, so if you could figure out some of those other personality traits of yours that might be beneficial to you in finding a hobby,
Right.
that could be great for you too. Because
Absolutely
being
can.
charismatic is great for like if you decided if you wanted to sell something, that would be
Right.
helpful. Like,
Absolutely.
cause I'm trying to be charismatic right now so that y'all will watch this podcast and help us out. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Now this right now is a hobby.
It is a hobby.
We wanted to make us some money, but right now it's a hobby.
I mean, do we want it to make some money? Yes.
Absolutely. But right now
Absolutely.
I am
But that's-
just enjoying
Right. This
doing
is just
with you.
secondary.
Yeah.
Initially, just starting another way and a tool to be able to put ourselves out into the universe. For you to get outside yourself, for me to turn more inward.
And look, we're doing some inward work here.
We are doing
Our
some
last one
inward.
about assertiveness and stuff in the communication
Ooh, I got a
styles.
little tear in my eye.
You
hon.
did. It got me a little
tear.
bit on how I need
Yeah.
to be more assertive in all aspects of my life and not just at one spot.
Right. Right. And then even when we discussed attachment, it absolutely took me a place of like, oh my God. When you
Yeah.
start witnessing how you respond and how you act or whatever. So
Because even
again,
figuring out strengths, figuring out your attachment and
Yes.
communication style, if you watched episode 6, figuring those things out will help you figure out who you are as a
Yes,
person. Because if
absolutely.
you don't know if you don't know that that you are securely attached or that you're insecurely attached,
That's right.
you don't even know who you are at the core. Because
That's
those
right.
things are at the core of your being.
Right.
Just saying. Could help you find a hobby.
God says, what man builds a house without first counting the cost? You have to first count the cost. You have to count the cost to be the boss. you have to count the cost and you have to look at the foundation. If the foundation is not great, you have to tear everything down and start over again. And nothing is wrong. I am a firm believer in nothing is wrong in tearing anything down. As
Yeah,
long
and
as you
start from
work,
scratch.
Yeah, and start from scratch. Work as many times as you need to start over, start over. Don't find fault in yourself for starting over again. Don't find fault for stopping something that you may have thought was your direction and your plan. You know, we discussed it in the first few episodes with sending my oldest daughter to college. She can go for whatever she wants to go for, but if she ultimately decides after she's graduated, since she's graduated now, if that's not what she wants to do, I'm firmly supporting that. You don't have to do
over.
the thing that you went to school for. Start over as many times as you need to, and reevaluate what your strengths and your weaknesses are to determine who you are, because who she was when she started college is not who she was when she graduated.
Right. There should be some growth.
There should be some growth, and some
Yeah.
growth has happened. Number 3, a tip is to embrace silence.
You know how hard it is to be silent in this day and age?
Well, it's hard for me at all times.
Because she talk a lot.
I
but
talk a lot. My
She
grandma-
no. Even when we were discussing silence, she was like, "Well, I'm embracing silence all the time when I'm watching my shows. That doesn't count because
Not
she's
myself.
silent watching the TV by herself."
I just mean,
But that's not silence.
That's not silence.
What they're talking about is complete silence,
Right.
still
Right.
moments, silent, which is
Right.
really difficult. Which you could probably start off about 5 minutes of that, and
Right.
probably somebody gonna interrupt your 5 minutes. But
Right.
I mean, the phone buzzing, the kids crying,
Right.
everybody's
Yeah.
bothering you, the TV going.
Yeah.
5 minutes of just stillness and listening to yourself and being inward, and even listening to God talk to
Yeah.
you in a few minutes
Yeah.
could help you figure out who you are.
That's probably the only time not the only time, but I really enjoy the silence is being in the presence of the Lord. Mm-hmm. That's, again, because I'm nosy. I want to hear what he got to say, and I want to be actively listening to what he has to say so I can take it into my spirit and sometimes I may not necessarily agree or understand or comprehend what is being said or what is, what I'm feeling, who I am in that moment, but then in the silence, you're able to take it in.
Yes.
Able
The
to help
silence without her Korean and Asian shows.
Yes, all of my Asian shows. Oh, I need to learn some
Just-
Mandarin, Cantonese.
The fourth one.
The 4th one, identify where you find meaning.
Oh, yeah. Identifying the activities in which you find a sense of purpose or meaning can help you learn more about yourself.
Yes.
It can also give you insights into how to spend your time in ways that you find rewarding.
Yes.
Oh, a recent research, I did read up, I actually looked at the research article,
Okay.
but those who feel a sense of purpose tend to feel less lonely, which can help decrease certain health risks and improve quality of life.
Oh, absolutely.
That's one of the things, like the people who live in the blue zones. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. Look it up.
Yeah.
The blue zones are like the Mediterranean folks and things like that who eat a Mediterranean diet, and people
Yes.
always just attributed it to their diet. But it's not
Right.
just that. They also spend a lot of time outside.
That's
They don't
right.
spend a lot of time on screens.
That's right.
And they have active social lives.
Right. And
The
a lot of
social aspect
European
is what gets you.
a lot of European countries operate in that mindset or that same vein because they have genuine siestas. You may go to I mean, for real.
Yeah, they do.
You might go to a European country, you're like, okay, it's lunchtime, it's 1 p.m. Everything's shut down. You ain't getting nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nothing open. They're adamant about it. They're adamant about taking breaks when they need to
Taking
take
care.
breaks, taking care of their mental, physical, and emotional well-being. And you see that in their diet. You see that in their skin. You see that
Yeah.
in their liveliness, in their just in their
Yeah,
entire being.
these are the people that live to be 100.
Yes, they live to be
They live to be
100.
100, and they're not in a hospital bed at 100.
That's right. They're not on a bunch of medications.
Right, they're dying from
Yeah.
natural causes just because their heart is tired of beating all this time.
Yes.
But like they are living
Right.
life.
That's
good
right.
quality of life.
That's right. They're living an excellent quality of life.
I will say that one of the things that I thought about for my own identity is how your routine tends to become your identity.
Yes, it does.
Instead of you thinking about what you like separately and who you are,
Right.
the kids become your identity. The
Yes.
husband becomes your identity. Your job becomes your identity. Taking your kid to practices becomes
Right.
your identity. All the things that you just do throughout the day become who
Right.
you are
Right.
on accident.
And something that it puts me in mind is, this seems kind of morbid, but an obituary. I'm serious. Think about it. In an obituary, they always say, they always have the name and they always say that who they were married to and they say
Yeah.
the kids and who's their surviving resource. And then it goes on to list they were part of this ministry at church and they were a part of, and they worked at this company for 30 years or 20
they
years or whatever.
volunteered here.
They
did that, the
volunteered here,
third.
and all of those things become how we identify.
Yeah, what would be in my obituary?
Right.
Besides the fact that I'm a wife and a mom.
Right.
And a physical therapist.
That's right. I'm wife and mom. I'm physical therapy.
So you can't even say that I do anything outside of that. Like I go to church.
Because it's generalized. Who you are comes down to a paragraph.
Yeah. And what's in my paragraph?
Right.
Oh,
and that's the word.
Ain't nothing in my paragraph, in my obituary.
What
Ain't
is
nothing
in
there.
your paragraph?
Besides, I was loved by my family and friends.
That's right. I'm a mother. I worked in physical therapy for 30 years. She was great at her job.
Listen,
Fantastic.
y'all need to have this podcast take off so I don't have to say that I've been in it for 30 years. Thanks.
But if you've
I
been in it
don't
for 30
wanna do
years,
that,
you've
but yeah,
prospered. You've prospered. You've touched a lot of. Put that oil on your hands.
But still,
Bless some souls.
my obituary is
It needs to
very
be more.
blank.
Yes, absolutely. Be more than a few lines of I was married to, I'm survived by, this is what I've done in my life for my career. That is the goal. In determining who you are. And again, there's,
Uncomfortability here.
yes, in determining who you are. And I mean, I really just, that's how I look at when I'm looking at an obituary. For most people, it's to generalize, information. And you say, oh, okay, they have 4 or 5 brothers and sisters. Oh, God, da, 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 da.
Yeah.
But be someone who's broader than a paragraph. I've read some of those obituaries where, like somebody had a really good personality and you can see the personality come through. It mentions nothing about their job, about their
Right.
career. It's all about their personality and their character traits. If she didn't like you, she didn't like you. She loved you, she loved you.
When everybody gets up to do the family
right,
and
me
friends
to
talk.
a core. And I think I read one obituary and I can't remember the exact details, but whoever this woman was, she was evil to her core. And
Ooh,
all
I
her
saw
children,
that, and all her
yeah.
kids were like, nope.
Nope, she was a terrible person.
I did see that. She left her
Right.
family and married a new man.
Man,
and that's
right.
what they wrote on her obituary. So that lady,
Absolutely.
that's what I know about her. She was a terrible mother to
That's
her
right.
kids.
And not only just that, every person that commented under it that knew her said the exact same thing. So it wasn't just her familial relationships. It was anybody that she encountered. Not to say that she could be different things to different people, but for the majority of the comments, all of the comments that I read, but for the majority of the people that came into her life, she
rubbed them all the wrong way.
She rubbed them all the wrong way. And so, I really think that's a good testament to learning who you are. Not that you have to be somebody different just because
Right.
of what's going to be put into an obituary, but it's a good, I think
I
that's,
mean, that's a good
it's a good
good
viewpoint.
thought-provoking
Yeah.
point. Like,
Yes.
what would somebody write about you in an obituary? What would
Right.
somebody get up and say when it's time
yes.
for the friends and family to give their
That's
2-minute
right.
thing about you? What are they going to say in 2 minutes about you?
That's right. We're not gonna get into what they might say about me. Not necessarily.
But listen.
Not necessarily that it'd be bad. I won't say that it would be bad at all because I am truly a giver at heart.
You are.
And there are a lot of great qualities that I show in the people that I want in my life. But if I don't want you in my life, you don't get the best of me. And I'm not saying that in a bad way, but I believe that's just.
So we won't let those people get up during the family and friends portion.
I don't mind. Get up and say your experience. I'm dead. What is it gonna do to me? If I was alive, how would it affect me negatively?
True.
You know,
'cause
your encounter.
cut people off quick.
Yeah, your
We
encounter.
discussed that in the last episode too.
Yes,
Go
we
watch
did.
it.
Yes, we did. Your encounter and your experience with me is true to who you are, and that's true to your feelings. And I mean, I'm not gonna negate if I
Yeah.
made a negative impact on
Your
your
feelings
life.
are valid.
But
You're always the villain in somebody's origin
I'm
story.
always somebody, not just me.
I'm just saying,
Somebody
somebody
is the villain.
Yeah, like
know.
you personally are
Yeah.
the villain in somebody's
Right.
origin story, and you don't even know it. Sometimes
You don't even know it, and then you meet you meet somebody, and you're like, we fell out, really?
And they've been harboring all this
Yeah.
resentment for you all this time,
Yeah.
and ain't told you because they too passive to tell
Right.
you.
Now, I will say that early on when people would come and they would say that to me, and I'd be like, oh, who I was then is not who I am now.
I know, I'm sorry.
So sorry.
I'm so sorry.
I know I said that. And they might say something. I'm like, I don't know it. I don't remember saying those exact words, but it sounded like something I would say. It sounded like something
And
I would
I'm
do.
real sorry.
I'm real sorry about that. I messed up your whole life. I messed up your whole life, and
The
I don't
origin.
even recall it. I don't even recall
That's
it.
even worse. But that's
No.
usually how it is. Something
Yeah.
that you do to somebody
Yes.
doesn't impact you at all, but
Right.
it changes their whole perspective. It shifts their entire thought process
It
of
absolutely
themselves and the
does.
world and the way they take in people, and you don't even know. You just say your little thing and you walk away.
It absolutely does. I recall seeing like a plaque, and it says people won't remember what you said, but they'll remember how you treated them.
Mm-hmm. Remember how you made them feel.
How you made them feel. So who you are, that comes out in the way that, you treat people. And where I seen that sign at happened to be in the principal's office when I was in middle school. I think it was the assistant principal. Her name was Miss Whiteside.
Well, never mind. We're
What?
not gonna
What?
get into why you was in the
I don't
principal's
mean,
office.
whatever reason. It was a bunch of reasons.
Whatever the
I mean,
reason.
whatever the reason. Let's go down the list. But I just remember her being someone that she loved with an iron fist. And I mean, those are the type of people that when you are a delinquent in any form or fashion, those are the type of people that you want to be in leadership. Those are the people
Yeah,
that help guide and
that's true.
steer you into who you need to be. And in her office, she had a lot of those type self-affirming or reassuring type plaques. And I remember it was on her desk, and she didn't have it turned towards her. She doesn't need to know that. She had
She
it
needs you to know.
She needs you to know that. And I recall her every time she would encounter me, she would say something along those lines of, you know, who are we today? You know, not because I was somebody different, but she was invoking something in me.
Yeah.
Find you people that will invoke the good in you. You know what I mean? Find you people that will help you find out who you are.
Make sure your top tier friends.
Yes, top tier friends.
Do
and
such.
And the 5th tip is work with a therapist.
Yeah. Now,
Yes.
you know, we're big proponents of therapy.
Yes.
I think a
Therapy,
therapist.
counseling,
Yes. Because the thing
spiritual
is, like,
guidance.
friends, you can have friends that you can talk to about these things, but friends don't always give you the real. Not all the
Yes,
time.
they don't.
Like, and sometimes they don't. They might not even have the words to give you to help you out
Right.
in a situation.
That's
but a
right.
therapist, they're trained for this kind of stuff.
They are.
They talk to people all the time about
All
this
the
kind of
time.
stuff. My therapist, I told her one time, I was like, I think I've said this to her multiple times, girl. I know you ain't got no friends because the way you been talking to me, I couldn't be your friend.
Who
outside
could
of
be
this.
your friend?
Who could be your
The
friend?
right
and she
people?
laughs every time, and she's like, yeah, I usually ask them, do you want therapist me or friend me?
Yes.
And she's like, most of the time they'll choose friend me.
Right.
'Cause
Even
they
the
don't want to
therapists
hear.
have the therapy.
They don't want to hear the real from her. So I
Even
mean,
a therapist has a therapist.
Yes, and she has a therapist.
Yes.
Because every now and then we talk about something, I'm like, you go to therapy for that? She was like, I sure do.
Yeah, absolutely. I sure do. I need to decompress
I
the same
sure
way you
do.
do.
I know exactly what I'm supposed to do, but I need somebody else to give me the kick to do it myself.
Right. You
So-
need somebody to give you the real.
You do. I think a therapist or a spiritual counselor, your
Yes.
pastor, somebody that you trust that's going to give you the real and
That's
not
right.
put your personal relationship in the middle of giving you
That's right.
the advice.
That's right.
sometimes is best for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I guess one thing that I have, like I need a hobby. And the thing is, a lot of people feel like
Yes.
because we are wives, husbands, mothers,
Right.
that you don't have time
Right.
for a hobby. You're like, when am I going to fit that in? The thing is, like, you have to make time for the things that you want.
Yes. Make time for
Are
yourself.
we going to wait till our kids are grown and in high school or in college and then say,
Right.
okay, now I'll do stuff for myself?
Right.
And
Then you go
now,
through the whole self-exploration of trying to figure out who you are.
when I'm in my almost 50s.
Yeah.
My kid's not going to go out of here till I'm almost 50.
What is it? An old dog can't learn new tricks.
Yeah.
That's not true.
It's not
but
true.
It can be
But
to
it's
some
harder.
people. It is harder. It absolutely is
So
harder.
I think because there's one thing I'm a little bit annoyed with myself because my parents, I had piano lessons when I was younger and
Oh yeah.
I let it go
Yeah, you did.
because I always felt like I had to play in church and that ain't what
Yeah.
I wanted to do for real. I
Right.
wanted to play classical music.
Right.
And instead of me, and how selfish,
How selfish.
right? How selfish that I feel like I couldn't do
Hindsight.
both.
Hindsight.
is great, but
Right,
like,
because your parents are super supportive.
listen, if y'all watching this, don't listen to her.
No, let me tell you,
'Cause
I'm
they
not
are gonna-
gonna-
they
I'm
are
not
gonna
say
watch
her
it 'cause they're
mama name, but
supportive.
Let me tell you something. You are a fantastic mom. I
You
tell
are.
her that,
And I
all
know
the
that.
time.
I
And
tell you that.
And she appreciates. You appreciate your mom.
Oh, yeah.
You appreciate both your parents. But I mean,
to the
I mean,
utmost.
you have
Yeah.
some excellent parents. And again, who your parents are to you may not be who they were to your siblings. And they might not even be who they are now since they're older and they have grandkids.
They
but,
show like because
but
they be
to
taking them
me,
grandkids to school, and I'm like, I rode the bus.
You rode the bus.
She's like,
Ain't
well, don't you want better for them?
I don't care nothing about them.
But no, I do want better for them.
But yeah, your parents
I'm
are
happy that
really-
they now have the time because they always
Yes.
worked when I was younger. They
That's
didn't have
right.
time to do that
That's
kind
right.
of stuff. But I mean, I get it. My parents they were there for me. So
That's right.
I like how selfish of me to be like, I
Right.
don't want to give back to God the way that He gave to me.
That's right.
So all I
Yeah.
had to do was sit up there and play these little songs in
Yes.
church to get them through sometimes.
Right.
And I was so irritated. I
Right.
didn't say it to my mom, of course. 'cause I
Right,
wasn't
right,
trying to get,
right, right.
But I was so irritated about having to do it. I was like, I don't want to play this kind of music. So when I got
Mm.
to college, she was trying to get me to minor in music. But the thing was, I didn't want to stay in college any longer.
Yes,
I
yes.
was trying to get out.
I'm trying
and
to
be
get out. I'm
efficient.
already here.
And I should have. I should
Right.
have listened. And
And
so
you-
now I've been thinking to myself that I might want to start that up again. But I'm also frustrated with having, like, basically starting over.
Right.
And I don't, because I know I missed some things probably at some
Right.
point.
It'll come back to you though.
But yeah, but like I'd like to just start over from scratch from like book one
Yeah.
and pretend like I don't know anything and start over and learn the
Right.
piano.
And you know what's kind of, I guess, ironic of that is that in finding your purpose in Christ, had you done that even unwillingly, because obedience is better than sacrifice, you didn't have to worry about sacrificing your time, but if you had been obedient to them, God would have revealed some great things for you and
See
being
what I'm
able to
talking about?
fulfill that. But you
That's
don't
why I
know
don't talk
that
to her.
then.
That's why I don't talk to her. Ain't nobody else could be reading me for filth on my own podcast.
Listen, let me tell you something. If I don't keep the Lord right in front of me, He will be so far behind me. Now that is a word. If you don't keep
That
the Lord
is.
in front of you, He will always be behind you. And so for me, it's continual.
Okay. Anyway,
It's
yes,
the
I
hood
already.
and the holy. It's the hood and the holy.
I'd already said that I was wrong.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. But I promise you, in fulfilling, it's kind of like I mean, you helping somebody else find out who they are. You
Yeah.
start finding out who you are. You start saying, oh, I'm really good at this. Like listening to people. I'm really good at counseling people. I'm really good at caregiving. You know, I recall, you know, growing up and my grandmother raised me and my siblings. And I recall thinking to myself, like being a caregiver, seeing how she poured into others, seeing how she was faithful in her ministry. And, you know, when you're younger and I told you I went to Missionary Baptist Church. You're in church all the time. I'm sorry, you're in church all the time. 7 days a week. 7 days a week. If you don't find
Yeah,
out who you are and what kind of auxiliary you like to do, you ain't gonna find out. No,
I was just there.
yeah, just there. But in just watching her interact with people and seeing who she was, and taking care of her, you know, because she was older. But
Yeah.
in taking care of her, it made me realize that, okay, I may not necessarily want to be a caregiver, but there are aspects to it, especially at the end of her life. Hospice only came in for a short period of time, but when I seen the hospice team come in and the way that they worked and the way that they moved, I mean, again,
Those people care for people.
they care for people in the hardest times of their lives. In the end,
It's a special type of person to
It's
be
a
a
special type of
hospice
person,
care.
and it really sparked an interest in me. And I thought, okay, do I want to be a social worker? No, I didn't know I didn't want to be a social worker. I initially went to school to be a social worker because I thought, okay, that's the foundation for working in hospice. But then I did an internship with the hospice with the company, and I recall we were sitting in grief support and listening to the stories and listening to people be able to vent and
Yeah.
just be able to get it off their chest, because a lot of it was just fatigue, caregiver fatigue.
Yes.
And it was, I feel guilty that I feel bad that they've moved on, but you know, that they've
Yeah.
died. And I'm like, I remember saying, no, you don't need to feel guilty. But again, that was some avoidant
Yeah.
attachment issues.
Yeah.
But in retrospect, I realized, like, no, it's just a relief, because you felt so pressured, you felt so worried, you felt
Yeah.
so anxious and so stressed. And it wasn't about being selfish and not being able to live who you live your authentic self. But I say all that to say that just being in that experience with my grandmother and watching people come in at a time where we might not necessarily knew exactly how to process our emotions or how to handle the end, gave me like a renewed sense of self.
Yes.
You know,
That kind of experience will show you
yes.
what you like, something about yourself, something about you, something that will help you identify what you like and don't like.
That's right.
So like seeing those people, you could have had the reaction like, dang, how can they do something like this? Like,
Yes.
how can they even handle that? And so, you know, that ain't for you.
That's right.
But if you end up having your interest piqued,
That's right.
you go, oh, so maybe I enjoy caring for people, or
That's
maybe I
right.
enjoy helping people and listening and being
That's
empathetic.
right.
So experiences in your childhood tend to
Right.
shape who you are in
Absolutely.
adulthood, which is why we were talking about going back to your childhood and thinking about things
Right.
that brought you joy as a child. Of course,
That's
you
right.
know, don't talk about eating dirt. Like, some kids did enjoy that. Let's not do that as adults. Let's find real hobbies that we liked when we were children that could be adultified, if that
God,
makes
you
sense.
are triggering a whole generation of people who made mud pies. Leave
Don't
us
eat,
alone.
don't eat them now.
Leave.
All I'm saying is that ain't the thing for you to identify with and go with.
Yeah, don't.
I like mud pies.
Like,
Please
don't
don't
be
do that.
identified eating mud now.
No,
You-
let's not do that. Let's not do that.
Get some-
Anyway, so I found one article that I'm gonna link below, but I can't deal with her. She's finna go eat a mud pie right now.
I ain't eating a mud pie.
You don't need to. You're already sickly. You don't need to be added to it. Your immune system can't handle no mud pie.
Enough nutrients and supplements in my system. Now I gotta
Look
go
at her
ahead and
crying,
get these
laughing.
artificial ones. Oh my God,
Oh.
this is stupid. So
Okay,
stupid.
that'll be
Okay.
something else we talk about. I'm telling y'all, one of these days she's gonna be ready to talk about her autoimmune disorder, and I'm gonna be right here just.
I'm not talking about that
I'm
nonsense.
gonna have a drink. I'm gonna have my water.
It's in the atmosphere of who I am, but it's not who I am.
It
It's
is not
crazy.
who you
but
are.
You're
It's a
right.
part
but
of
it's,
you.
But it's absolutely ruling this ship over here.
It is, y'all. She can't. Okay, listen. I'm gonna say this, then we're gonna move on. She walked down my sidewalk today.
No, wait a minute.
She looked drunk, y'all. And I know she don't drink, but she walking down and she got all the stuff in her hands. Look like she gonna fall down the sidewalk. So while she talking about it's not who she is, it's definitely a part of who she is right now. It is not her identity, but it is something that she deals with on a daily
Wait a
basis.
minute.
Okay, next. No time for rebuttal. Okay, this article talks about the different hobbies that you can have, right? So I'm not
Right,
gonna go through the
right.
whole list of 75 of them, but there's different
Right.
topics of them, like nourishing healthy hobbies. So like I didn't think about. I know cooking is always a thing that people say, oh, I like to cook, and they
Right.
make that their hobby. You know,
Right.
making nourishing meals. But you could also like challenge yourself while cooking. Like if you're already good at cooking regular
Yeah.
foods,
Yeah.
baking with whole grains, like saying I'm gonna bake with only whole wheat flour,
Yes, yes.
and see how that works, because that's different than doing it with like all-purpose flour.
Right. Challenge yourself.
Challenge
in your
yourself.
hobbies.
So like my friend Brittany, she bakes sourdough.
Right. Oh,
And
really?
and there was one time I had
Every time I watch people baking sourdough, it doesn't seem like it turned out right. It don't seem like
hers be right. She'll bring it to work sometimes when she was working. She'd bring it to work with some butter.
Right.
So we can eat. So we just everybody ended up just cutting off sourdough.
Just in there
but like
eating
there was
bread.
one time she made it. She scored it and put a
Okay.
Christmas tree in it.
Oh.
Like she
Skills,
came up with
skills.
with a hobby. Now she's still trying to figure out how to make it with different flour because she might be a little allergic to gluten. But
Yeah.
that's a challenge.
That's
That
how
could
you
be a
find
hobby
out
for her
what
to
you're
figure that out.
allergic to, too.
And then like yes, and then gardening. Gardening is a big one. Getting
Yeah.
your hands dirty and getting in
Yeah.
the earth and being outside with nature and just
Yes.
you can talk to God out there.
Yes.
It's a really good time for you
Admire
to
his
take it.
creation.
Yes, to take it all in and look around.
Yep.
Like we garden here at my house, and just when I go outside to do the things,
Yeah.
to weed or
Right.
to water,
Get the
I
natural
stand
vitamin
outside.
D.
Yes, I stand outside. I just look around and listen to the birds, listen to the trees, and the wind in the trees and that kind of thing. And I'm just like, Lord, like look at the green on these trees.
Lower
I
your
never
cortisol
admire
level.
it. Yeah, I never admire it any other time than when I'm out there at the garden. When I make the time to be still
Yes.
and focus on what has been done.
Be still and know that I am God.
Yes. So that's just one other thing.
Yeah.
But so then you got physical fitness and wellness. So going into like Pilates,
Yeah.
swimming. Swimming is a great, now I talk about swimming, but I can't swim. But swimming is a great activity.
I can't either, but
It's a great aerobic activity that's got, low impact on your joints.
Yes.
It's great for that sort of thing. You should
Right.
try it out if you
I
would like
definitely
to
should
swim.
try it out.
I should learn how to swim, but I'm not going to. We're not gonna get into that.
I'm gonna learn.
Then like dancing.
We're gonna
No,
learn. Yes, we're going to
dude.
learn.
Mark my words. It's a no for me, dog. But
Mark my
listen.
words. I'm charismatic enough to convince her to do it.
Oh, but listen,
Yes.
dance classes is one of these.
Yeah.
And
Now I love dance.
but listen, so I was real clumsy as a kid. So my mama was like, I didn't put you in dance thinking that like I was
yeah.
gonna be too clumsy for that.
Yeah.
Now that I'm an adult, I know that like as a physical therapist, it would have helped
Yes.
to do such things. But
Yes.
she basically didn't want me to be out there embarrassed.
Right,
I
right.
understand
Yeah,
her point
don't
of
be
view.
out there
It was-
embarrassing your mama.
Yeah,
you
right.
carry their last name.
Right. But what I would really love is to find an adult ballet class.
I don't want to do ballet. I thought we was talking about hip hop. I mean,
I want to find an adult ballet class. And even if I did like a couple of lessons.
Yeah.
I just want to try it out.
You know what I want to learn? Gymnastics. Coming from somebody who joints and all of those
Right.
things.
After we just talked about joints
it's
and
just
falls
not-
and breaks
and instability. Is that equilibrium in the brain,
Yeah,
the fatigue?
yeah.
Yeah. All that. Another thing, it's not a hobby for me, but something that I do enjoy doing. I'm not able to do it as much as I used to. And this sounds crazy. Is cleaning. I absolutely. It's
therapeutic for some people.
It's extremely therapeutic for me to be able
It
to
ain't
just
for me.
center myself and get things reorganized, and it does help your mental health. The more things are in
Yeah,
order
it
and
does.
together, it does like set the atmosphere, it cleans the air, 'cause, all of those things.
right.
Now those aren't benefits that I necessarily was looking for. Those are added benefits, but for me, it was just being able to have, and what I learned through therapy. The reason why I love cleaning is that trying to bring order to disorganization and chaos. So trying to establish my own solid and stable foundation. And so the only thing, I'm not able to
that
control.
was what you were in control of.
Yes, that's what I'm controlling. I'm not able to control anything else, but I'm able to control this being dirty, this being clean. It's something
get
and
that.
then
I get that.
having a feeling of accomplishment.
Yeah.
I wash my clothes, I folded my clothes, I put them up. All of that's together, and it looks neat.
And it looks nice.
Now
And
you gotta
makes
do it
feel better.
again, but it doesn't.
Yeah, I
but
know
it
that's the one
doesn't-
thing I dislike about
Yeah.
cleaning is that the repetition of it all.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I
that
get
doesn't
it.
bother me. Now,
I get it.
It doesn't bother me at all. I love it. Now, and
I'm glad you
I
love that.
I can't necessarily say that that's a hobby, but it is something that
it
I
is for
find
some
joy
people.
in.
I mean,
Yes.
people now they clean.
Oh, yeah.
they clean.
Clean
you
talk.
know,
Clean
yeah,
talk
they
on
clean
TikTok. Yeah.
for money and
Yeah.
for hoarders and
Right.
people with mental illness. They do
Yep.
all kinds of stuff. That
They
could
do
be
that.
you.
Now, it is one of the giftings that I operate in, and in times when I may not have been able to give money or contribute financially.
Let me come clean something for you.
Oh yeah, let me come organize something for you.
Hey.
You moving into a house, I will clean the new house for you. You
I ain't
moving out of
mad
a
at
house,
it.
I'll clean the old house for you.
I ain't mad at
You starting a business and you need help somebody inventory you? Sure, bam. I want to be able to contribute. And for me, in the spiritual sense,
That
it's
goes
so,
back to your acts of service.
yes, acts of service. It comes into, sowing a seed into someone's life. But for me, it's okay. I made this easier for them. you know, and the joy and the excitement that they have when they walk into this room and are able to find what they need to find. Again, creating stable, solid
Yeah.
foundations and environments for people.
It's very nice.
It is.
I love that for you. But so you got a bunch of different things here.
Right.
But some benefits of having a hobby. Like we all say that we don't have
Yeah.
time for a hobby, but some benefits of having a hobby is it boosts brain function and brain health.
I need to do that because the brain function and brain health is limited over here in these parts.
It
You
is
hear me?
limited. But listen, let me tell you, it like doing things like playing chess.
Yes.
That boosts
Now
your
my
brain function
husband
to a whole
absolutely
nother
he
level.
loves that. Yeah.
Yes, because it requires you to use your brain and different parts of your brain to do different things.
Right.
Now you have to think not only think about your move, but think about somebody else's move. And in chess,
Right.
it's not like checkers. You got to stay like 3 steps ahead in
Yep.
chess.
Absolutely.
So that helps with your brain function. It also helps with your mindfulness.
Yes.
Helps you decide like
Yes.
your spirituality. Helps you get closer to God and that kind of
Right.
thing when you have a hobby that involves Him. So like hobbies are great and they're very beneficial for everyone. And y'all need to tell us in the comments what kind of hobby you're gonna try.
I know it. I had a conversation with my husband, and I was like, you don't ever do anything. But he does when I started looking at all of the activities that he has going on. These are hobbies for him. And one of those hobbies is he bought like a retro video game.
Mm-hmm.
And he had some, but they, stopped working. But
Yeah.
he went back and had and I will see him down there in the office on his TV.
That man got a hobby.
And then I just shut the door and go on. And our youngest she loves it. They play games together.
Yeah.
Now when I was growing up, it was just entertainment.
But see, you think that, but
Yeah.
video games teach you resilience.
Resilience, yep.
They teach you patience.
Yes.
Like
Eye
we think that
coordination,
yes,
eye-hand
hand-eye coordination.
coordination.
Like it teaches you a lot of things. And then
Yep.
even with the way the
Problem
games used to be
solving,
played
yeah.
when we played them,
Yes.
where there was no map, there was no,
That's
like
right.
you had to figure it out on your own.
Right, there
and
was
get
no cheat
frustrated and
code.
started over and
Yeah.
over and over again until you figured out a spot.
Right.
Like it taught you a lot.
Right, you die. I know not to do that again.
Yes. And there is no like Fortnite where there's no regeneration.
Oh, right, yeah.
There's none of that. Like you
Yeah,
have
yeah.
to wait.
Yeah,
Then you got to
you
start all
dead.
over and
Boom.
level over. Level over.
Level over.
So
Yep.
I mean, video games, even though people think that it's too much and it's just fun, like,
Right.
it can teach your kids a lot of things too. Now,
Yes.
in a controlled environment where
Yes,
you're making sure you're
controlled.
watching
Yeah,
what
absolutely.
they're playing with and that kind of thing. But in general, video
Yes.
games are great a hobby to
Right,
have.
too much of anything can be bad for you.
Yes, it
Yes.
can. But all right, what else you got, girl?
That's it. That's all.
You
I
know
got.
who you are.
No, that's
the whole point of the episode?
Look, that's a lifelong process right there.
Oh,
I don't know who I am, but I do. I don't know who I fully am, but I know who I am right now.
okay.
Yeah, and I know that what I'm striving to be. I think we discussed this Friday when I was over your house, when I was over here, and we were talking about. Excuse me. We were just talking about in general, like all the things that were going on that day, and I was just like, I don't necessarily know. I don't know. At some point, let me say this. At some point during the time while we were here, and my intention to coming over here was just drop off a generator. That's the whole reason why I came. Once at some point of me being here, I realized, okay, because I think I like to stay at home by myself. I realized like I was enjoying not the chaos, but
being
I was
around.
I was just enjoying the activities and again, anything small, I make it into a large thing. I make it into a huge thing. And I just remember like the way you were interacting with your husband and the way that y'all were handling and tag teaming the situation. And I just was kind of sitting back looking at it. And to me, you seemed like you were handling it just perfectly fine. Like I could see on your face, you're like, this is just.
I don't want to do this.
This is trash. I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this. But also, I seen how when your husband would step into your atmosphere or would step into the room or whatever, how you immediately was like I don't know, you felt safe.
Yeah.
You felt safe.
Because he was handling a lot of
Yeah,
things
he was
too.
handling all of the things that was going on, and he was
Yeah.
taking care of stuff. And then slowly throughout the time that we were here, you start feeling more relaxed and more comfortable. I say all that to say that what I realized is that I was just a good helpmeet.
Yeah.
Like in learning who I am now, sometimes it's not. You don't have to overtly. You don't have to overtly give. You don't have to do too much. You just have to be in the presence of someone else to be able to give them exactly what they need in that moment.
And that
so,
helps you figure out who you are.
Who I am.
Who you are to yourself and who you are to other people could
That's
also
right.
be two different things.
Two different things.
Because you didn't realize that you were going to be my piece that day.
No, absolutely. I have never at any moment in time thought I was someone's piece.
And you were. You were
Right.
very helpful to me that day, and I very much appreciated it.
Right.
But to you, like, you were just here.
I was just here, and I think we had a discussion in the kitchen, and that's what we were talking about is at no point in time in the course of my walk in therapy have I ever realized that maybe I wasn't the problem. Because when you're told so many times in the relationships that you have with people that you're the problem, and you're like, I'm not the problem. And then when so many people tell you, it's like, okay, if I'm the center of it,
You're
I'm
the common
I'm the
denominator.
common denominator, then I must be the problem. But then when you get around your tribe, when you get around people who actually belong to you, when you find your people,
You ain't the problem.
you realize that you're not the problem. You're just in the wrong place.
Yeah, you're
And
with
you
the wrong
realize,
people.
yeah, you realize who you were was not who they thought you were.
Yes,
and they couldn't handle you.
And that doesn't
Yeah.
help you when you're with the wrong people. Your identity is also squashed.
Yes, it
like you
is.
don't know who you are because the people don't like who you are.
That's right.
But
And
you think something's wrong with who you are.
That's right.
Because they don't like it.
And what you tend to do, or what we say you tend to do in the spiritual realm, is that you put your light under a bushel. You hide your light, you hide your goodness, you hide your giftings, you hide your talent. And I will say now, I did know that early on, that I did that a lot of time, or as my former pastor would say, I dumbed myself down. I would dumb myself down in the presence of other people
To be
because
palatable to other people.
that's right, because they felt threatened by it, and in order to not necessarily, I don't even think it was accepting. It was more like I didn't want to cause offense because I didn't want to be the reason why somebody had a bad day.
Watering yourself down.
Like
for others.
watering myself down for others, and at some point it became too much. Of course, when I started going to therapy is what it really happens.
Yeah.
And I think we'll discuss this later on about boundaries. But when you start finding out who you are and setting boundaries, then you'll find out who the people are really that are attached to you.
That are for you.
Yeah, who's for you.
And who's against you.
And who's against you. They be for you. Who could
could
be
be
against
against
you? But we discussed that in the kitchen. That's what we were talking about. It's like at no point in time did I ever think maybe I'm just in the wrong circle of friends.
Right.
Right.
You just thought something's wrong with me because I'm not palatable to these people.
That's right. But then that day, you said something that triggered you triggered me. It's like, I'm so happy you're here. Like, I'm so happy you're here in this presence. You have brought me so much peace. You have brought me so much. And I was like, did I? I said just like that, did I?
Well, I don't make stuff up.
Yeah, and I know you
Yeah,
don't.
William was bringing me peace by helping me. He was helping us handling
right.
his, the things, the guys, the outside stuff. Like he was
Right.
calling, he was looking stuff up and calling
That's
whoever
right.
he needed to call. He didn't call. I didn't even think about it. He didn't call the city folks to try to
Yeah.
come get this tree. Like he thought of all the things.
All
so that
of
was
it.
helpful. But then I
Right.
was still like, But
Right.
he couldn't just sit in here with me and be peaceful for me.
Right. He couldn't.
He had to
had
go
to
handle the
manage.
people and make
That's
sure the people
right.
doing what they're supposed to be doing.
That's
And I
right.
appreciate that because I don't want to be out there with these men.
Yeah, with these jokers.
I don't want to be out there. So I sat in here with you and Kiki about the fish eating or the turtle eating
Eating
the
the
fish.
fish, yeah. The turtle eating the fish. Three Stooges out there cooking.
It was rough.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
it was great.
It was great.
I hope that you know that the person that you are
That's right.
is palatable to the right people.
To the right people.
That you don't have to ever dumb yourself down or water yourself
That's
down
right.
to be around me. Now, I don't know about anybody else.
That's right.
But you ain't got to do that for me.
That's right.
I like you just the way you are.
Absolutely. Thank you, friend.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I like you just the way you are too.
Me and my new hair.
Okay.
New hair, who this?
Who this?
It's just a retwist, y'all. Just a
It
retwist.
is a retwist.
But look at this hair, y'all.
It looks so good. Every time you get a retwist, I keep telling you that it's longer.
But all right.
All right.
All right, y'all.
Thanks
Thanks for
joining
tuning.
this episode. We look forward to seeing you on the next one.
Next week.
I don't know what we're gonna talk about. Whatever comes
We'll
up,
figure it out.
Whatever comes up, it'll come out. All right.
All right. Bye, y'all.